Hey everyone, just got finished an awesome, brief 10-minute jump rope workout using Crossrope's 1 pound heavy rope and their A and P handles, which keep track of stats like how many hops you do and how many calories you burn in a given time duration. So, because I was using a heavier rope, I kept my footwork very basic. I was using the basic boxer skip together with the run in place, as well as an alternative variation of the run in place where you do an extra hop or two on any given foot. So right now my forearms are quite fatigued. Using a heavier rope, it really engages the grip, the forearms and the shoulders that much more than lighter ropes. So right now my arms are absolutely pumped. I don't know if you can tell, my shoulders are fatigued a little bit, even though I just did 10 minutes of jumping rope. A few times during that session, I even stopped just to put down the rope and walk around for about 10 seconds while I shook out my hands, my arms before continuing skipping. I think I made maybe 2 mistakes where the rope got caught in my feet. It's all good. Usually when I skip rope, I use an 8'6" cross rope for, say, freestyle. This rope is 8 foot in length, so it's a little bit shorter. Therefore, if I use my normal hand positioning, a shorter rope will become a little bit shorter. So I kind of have to make a more of a conscious effort to keep my hands a little bit more relaxed or closer to the ground, which provides a little bit more length in the rope. What I mean by that is, if I step in the center of the rope there, if I have my arms at this position, there's quite a bit of slack in the rope. But if I start bringing my hands a little bit higher up, the rope comes off the ground already. So I'm going to have to start jumping a little bit higher just to clear that. So when using a shorter rope, I try to relax my arm positioning a little bit, keep my forearms, my hands closer to the ground. Whereas with a little bit longer of a rope, I'll keep my hands maybe a little bit higher. And sometimes I'll just go with the flow, depending on the different jump rope move I'm using. I might adjust my hand positioning a little bit, but generally with a shorter rope, I have to keep my hands a little bit lower to create a little bit more slack in the rope. So fantastic but brief jump rope session. Just because a jump rope workout is short doesn't mean you can't reap benefits. Out of curiosity, if you are a Crossrope jump rope user, and if you have different weighted ropes of theirs, I wonder if you have a preference. Do you like the 1/4 pound rope, for example, the 1/2 pound rope, the 1 pound rope, or the 2 pound rope? I like them all, but for different reasons. The 1/4 pound rope is fantastic for freestyling. It's nice because it's heavier than a basic PVC rope. Nice in the sense that there's good feedback from it. When you're spinning it, you can really feel the rope. If you use a 1/4 pound rope, even though it's not that heavy, if you go from a 1/4 pound rope to a basic jump rope, the basic jump rope can almost feel too light. That said, there's nothing wrong with a basic PVC jump rope. They can be fantastic for beginners, people new to jumping rope, or if that's simply your preference, if you like jumping rope with a PVC jump rope, nothing wrong with that. I jumped rope with them for many, many years, and I still have PVC jump ropes. But since I was sent some Crossrope jump ropes a good few months ago, I've been using them for the most part because I simply enjoy using them, and it's nice to have the 1/4 pound rope with that extra little bit of weight. I've kind of gravitated to that, and then it's nice being able to easily switch to heavier ropes, such as the 1/2 pound, which I like because it's heavier, of course, than the 1/4 pound rope, but I still find that I can do plenty of freestyling with the rope. So you get a little bit more shoulder engagement with the 1/2 pound rope. You get a little bit more feedback from it because it is heavier. You won't be able to spin it as fast,
but at the same time, I can still perform advanced jump rope tricks with it. With the 1 pound rope, the rope becomes a little bit heavier and it becomes a little bit more challenging to do jump rope tricks with. And of course, the 2 pound rope, it's even more challenging. The 2 pound rope, given the heavier weight, it becomes that much more difficult to spin the rope. Even jumping rope for just a few minutes with a 2 pound rope can be extremely fatiguing, not only on your shoulders, your forearms, your grip, but also your cardiovascular system and your lungs. The 1/2 pound and the 1/4 pound rope that I have, they are both 8'6" in length. And that's what I like in terms of cross ropes for freestyling. The heavy ropes that I have, they are actually 8 foot long. So I would definitely be interested to know what it's like to use the 8'6" cross rope heavy ropes. So I have the 1 pound and the 2 pound rope, but they are shorter than my freestyle preference length. So I would be curious what it's like to use the heavier ropes in the 8 foot length. So perhaps that's something I will try in the future. Because my heavier ropes are quite short compared to my standard jump rope that I use, it becomes a little bit more challenging to perform certain advanced jump rope tricks. Plus the extra weight, they are bound to be more difficult to perform. So I'm just curious, if the heavy ropes that I have were a little bit longer, perhaps I could still perform some advanced jump rope tricks, but given the extra weight, it would still be challenging, more challenging than when using the lighter ropes. The heavy ropes are fantastic for getting a great cardiovascular and lung workout in a very brief period of time. They're also extremely good, as I mentioned a little bit earlier or alluded to. They really work your grip, your forearms, and your shoulders. While training for a triathlon, I didn't do any swimming at all. I simply used Crossrope's heavy ropes and the jump rope jog step move. I did that for a month using the heavy ropes and the jog step, because for a triathlon, there's a running component. So the jog step, that was training for the running section of the triathlon, and using the heavy ropes was fantastic in that it really engaged my shoulders. So I used to jump rope for quite long durations with the heavier ropes, the 1 pound rope and the 2 pound rope, taking lots of rests or breaks while using those heavier ropes. But it's just fantastic training. So yeah, I'd be very curious about your feedback, your opinion. Do you have any preference in terms of the different cross ropes? Which weight of rope do you prefer? All right, well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Information about how many calories were burned in this 10-minute workout are shown on the screen at the end of the jump rope footage. All right, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope to see you in the next one.